this is in English, so you can read. Investicijski krediti, kratkoročni krediti, šta se zbiva? Stable to decreasing, ovo njima najveći problem. This is the biggest problem for them because they are retail bankrupt. And how does it impact to their marketing, to their marketing strategy?
How many people did work on this?
This is how is it structured? There is a central marketing within the group. They are the largest retail banker in Southeast Europe. Austria, Czech Republic, Slovakia, Hungary, Croatia, Slovenia. And this is a template produced by the group marketing. And then there is a scenario making a workshop, and there is a guidelines how to make a marketing plan.
Okay, so during that workshop,
they train you. They train you.
Okay.
And they go from basic to specific, from basic to specific. And this is a template. The reason why I've done this at the beginning of this presentation was why we do this. Differentiating markets, economies, and products. We need a sustainable document so we can measure and compare. And when they create the KPIs, and the people are paid by KPIs, it has to be at the same platform. Yeah? So, as a board member of the Croatian Telecom, supervisory board member, I have to tell you that the bonus schemes, 1/3 is based on their local performance. 1/3 is based on the group performance, which means DT, globally, and the third part is divided between a relationship with your peers and employees. It is not in numbers, it's descriptive. And value of increase of the share value of Deutsche Telekom, not Croatian Telekom. So these KPIs can only be in a global company taken into account if they are done on the same platform. And the globalization actually has imposed a trend, even in Croatia, that they are globally and locally more or less the same, especially in the field of services like banking services. And the more it goes to the web and electronic, it's been more standardized. See how they have a client share. It's really, I would say, with almost 15% of total clients, they are the third largest. And the aim is that we go to a general when it comes to specific documents, which I want to share with you at the end of this. Now, this is the list of the competitors. You've been asking about Splitska Banka. Why we need to have this? Because when we do the market share breakdown, you can extract how much, if you grow in market share, how much more revenues you can get. And with more revenues, you can use more marketing budget. That's the reasoning behind. And of course, competition is always a threat to your, yes?
And how is the Hypo took place when they went?
This was 2012, and most probably this was based on 2011. They went bankrupt 2 years ago. That was not yet the case. You see, increasing market share despite image erosion connected to the corruption scandals. Focus on housing loan, savings, image campaign. And they were giving the highest interest rates. And finally, we know why. If some of the key key descriptive points on your product, on your competitor's product, are so different from yours. Something is wrong. There is nothing that they can be now 10, 15, or 20, or 30% better than you are. This is all in numbers. It shows trends and classical KPIs they have decided to use, starting with client share, ending out with the awareness, and how the top 3 competitors are placed. Yeah? Who would you recommend to use, or which bank will you use to recommend to your neighbors and friends? And key challenges. We are still with the situation analysis. And they have nicely described their product, the pricing, typical 4 Ps. Huh? Product, pricing, promotion, placement, distribution. Huh? Erste Club corner for students in existing branches in 4 towns. Improvement processes in branches, more efficiency, sales, and effectiveness. That's the time when they started with I don't know whether Medo Stedo and all these things for young people. These are the KPIs, the USPs. Huh? What are you offering that is so unique? And each of these do respond to one of these positioning statements. We are flexible. This delivers confidence. We will increase customer satisfaction, which will deliver success. We will increase client orientation, which gives stability. We have more and more clients. Increase process efficiency. We are trustworthy. You can do it. Increase market share for you. Flexibility, then again. Increase client activation. This is web innovation. Usually the big companies pay consultants to do this, so don't be afraid. You are the doers. The creative people are a very small group on the top, and consultants. These are the marketing targets. In a challenging world, in the challenging environment, the targets and description how to use the advertising. Now you have the link. Challenge, target, what type of advertising and marketing tools do we use? And you see at the end of the template, this is a suggestion from the central marketing in Vienna. Add more points if needed. So when you do this marketing plan in Croatia, you stick either to what they have prescribed, or you add something very specific for Croatia, or you discover something globally new, then you immediately are moved to the central office in Vienna. Huh? See how nicely it looks. Focus on actual needs of clients and different models for different needs. Is it so natural that you focus on every single person that comes and looks for the loan to build a house? You focus on his needs. Flexibility, communication of alternative channels. These are the targets in marketing strategy, aligned with the business strategy, and description, again, of the advertising action. How they nicely link the description of advertising action. And these descriptions of the advertising action would become a part of the larger template of channels, media that are used to advertise. Intensive online communication, POS. I will mail this to you. So don't be. Sport sponsoring. They found a sport to be an interesting channel for them. Look what clubs or teams they have selected. Ice Hockey Club in Westchak.
And they got covered every sports.
Yeah.
Most.
So you find a beach volley named Erste Zagreb.
Yeah.
I hope it's a female.
They sponsored the Westchak because the Erste is a sponsor of the Austrian National League.
See, group level. They found this to fit to the group targets. Erste Austria is the sponsor of the Ice Hockey League in Austria. Immediately transferred. This is the regional league. It's not. Croatia does not have an ice hockey league. My son was a Croatian representative in ice hockey, a team member. And how do they describe why you have selected basketball club Zadar? You see, business-driven sponsorship. There's something counter-trade. Business-driven sponsorship to support brand strategy. A riding club. Handball club, Bielovar. You know why? CEO is from Bielovar. You have to be important when you come home to see your mama. My son is sponsoring a local handball club in Bielovar. Humanitarian sport. Homositech, I don't know what is homos. Obviously some kind of a race. Croatian Shooting Federation. Business-driven sponsorship. Maybe the chairman of the Croatian Shooting Federation is an important politician who is influencing the law on banking system. So you don't give him money, but you support the Shooting Federation. And you see what I said, they claim here. It represents the innovative strategic approach in sponsoring activities of Erste Bank. The main objective of sponsoring project is to create the position of Erste Bank as the partner of sport. As sport projects have a greater potential for strengthening the position of the bank in sport area, bringing the sustainable brand awareness and visibility to the banking party. This is the claim that you can say to every customer as tomorrow's employee of a sports organization. Because, you see, support brand, support brand, support brand, support brand. They do not expect a direct benefits of being sports sponsored, but creating a brand awareness that will push the market, the users, to open more current accounts with Erste Bank because they support the team they like. And it is a target that you can roll on for years, provided that each and every year you really measure a growth in number of current accounts. Do you know the difference between sponsorship and donation?
The donation is
You don't expect anything in return.
Yeah. Did we mention this last time?
Yeah.
Okay. So sponsoring is a commercial deal, service for service, and it's taxed. You pay VAT on sponsorship agreements. On one side, the team has to deliver something. Promotion space, minutes, players. And they have to invoice a user and add tax. The nations are, so to say, yeah. The company donating doesn't expect anything in return. It does not have to be, even if you put something in your team that will remind the people that this is a donator, there is no need to invoice. And therefore it's not tax payable. And therefore it is regulated. You cannot donate a gazillions. The Americans are very proud for their donations. because in America donations are tax deductible. But there is a limit. You cannot donate your entire wealth. Yeah? You can do it to some limits. In Croatia, it's the same. You can donate maximum to 1% of your annual revenues. Everything above that is tax payable. And so we skip any kind of a monkey business, unter-Tisch activities. So mostly sport is driven to support brand strategy, to build brand awareness. So your key claim for your commercial partners is brand awareness. You cannot claim that if you display Erste Bank on the jerseys of my team, your sales will increase 12%. Don't do that mistake. It does not happen that way. It is always about the brand strategy and brand awareness. I wanted you to see this page because it might be crucial for your for developing your marketing plans. Yeah? Now they have cultural as well. I mean, but the money cannot be compared. They've been in Rijeka, they've been. These are obviously linked to businesses. Croatian Dental Chamber. I really don't understand what does the bank has to do with the dental chamber, but and it's definitely not a cultural manifestation. Humanitarian pays well. There is always a link between humanitarian and sport. People love to see sport being a humanitarian as well. This is absolutely unimportant for your. Then they have retail strategy. They of course, always analysis. Competitors. Now these are tactics as well. So they listed up competitors, and the most important is for you to understand how the composition can impact your retail strategy. Take for example retail strategy of Zara. Did we mention this last time?
Yes.
Where Zara, this is an excellent example of the retail strategy. Yeah? What do you usually note about Zara?
They don't have too much.
Not too much stores, always center of the city, and relatively cheap goods, and shelves are empty. Shelves are empty because then you think, they bought everything, I need to have this. And centrally located, this is a nice place to shop. And it's easy to buy because it's not too cheap. Needless to mention that I know how they really measure the numbers for the outfit. Not for them, nor for the Abercrombie and Fitch. I really don't understand the strategy by which you enter into the dark room with a very strong smell. And then how do you choose? I need help. I need help. And I was so impressed by the strategy of IKEA. My daughter went to Brussels for a month and she left me the selection of the goods she wants me to buy for her. And so I come with this piece of paper and she said, but you need to have an offer. But how do I get an offer? You go to anyone that you see in a yellow t-shirt. I go to, he gave me the offer. I said, and it is a couch, 2 couches and one chair. So how do I pick now? We have a picking service for you. How much is picking service? 100 kuna. So I said, okay, where do I wait now? Now you wait for the cashier. And then after 20 minutes, there comes a guy with a trolley with all these goods. And I asked him, how do you find these goods? He said, easy. For me, it was not easy, but I paid 100 kunas. Yeah? Then they developed further. We have a delivery system. Delivery system is outsourced. It's a new company. They have blue t-shirts. So I paid for the delivery 150 kuna. It seems to be very cheap for me. But I'm now hooked. I said, but how do I assemble? We have that service as well. It's a red t-shirt, and they will come to your home, and they have to assemble it. Single assembling costs you 150 kunas. So it's very cheap. And 10% of the value of the goods you bought. So I paid for the assembly 1,000 kuna. I said, okay, it saves my time. Usually when I do the IKEA, I always have too many screws and whatever is needed. And I spend hours Especially I was alone, at home alone. If Dana was with me, we could do it together. But I wanted to surprise her when she comes home. There's already a couch and everything, so she can invite friends to visit her in her home. That's what the fathers do. Don't be. My wife usually accuses me when I come home. I yell on my sons and I smile to my daughter. But this is what the fathers do. Huh? Is it true? That's true. Okay. The German fathers do the same. We are so stupid. then comes the retail situation and product trends analysis. Market position products. Now they have some of the things that can be measured. Retail loans, market share. Other loans, consumer loans, market share. Private deposits. Number of they explain now distribution channels. This is now talking about the retail. Retail, how they sell their products. Challenges. Again, we go back to the 4 Ps. It's so nicely structured, as by Mr. Kotler. Product challenges, of course. This is Croatian situation 2012. Nothing has changed. Unemployment even higher than then. Low demand for loans. Today, Croatian banks are overcapitalized. There is a free cash of 1 billion euros to be given back to the citizens, and there is no demand. Because to my surprise, Croatian state budget is anticipated for the year 2015 is 115 billion kunas. It's the budget. Savings. Help me guess how much the Croatian companies and citizens are saving. And it is 80% are citizens, 20% are companies. Equals 247 billion kunas. And then when it's 180 something of citizens and the rest is companies. Imagine what a challenging time for bankers. Of course, they cannot refuse to tell you cannot have your current account in my bank, or you cannot have a deposit in my bank. So what I do, deposits is less and less, interest rate goes down. Because in order to repay the deposit, they have to place the money. And there has to be a difference between the passive and the active interest rate. In order to repay 2% to you, I have to charge him 4% of the same money. So obviously the solution for the Croatian economy is to take the money from the saving accounts and deposits to a business. And therefore the ideas are needed and the developed capital market is needed, which is in Croatia extremely underdeveloped, even though many Croatian companies are listed on Zagreb Stock Exchange. Or direct foreign investment, or EU funds. What is the problem? For EU funds, you need a local component.
There is no way.
And there is no way to have the local component when this 115 billion is 92% is fixed. So for the local component, we have 8% of 115. And this 115, the local component is minimum 30%, local component. How can Croatian market develop? How can Croatian economy can develop? Direct foreign investment, they need stability. You cannot change the law on taxation every year, because they have to make a business plan. If they can make a business plan and every year there is different taxation, so either we need risk funds, which see the Croatia as a great potential for future, which is likely, most probably not to happen, or we need to broaden this 115, 30% to a larger scale. A larger scale can be done only by savings, which means unions, salaries, wages, universities, public spending has to go down to create more space to use them to couple with the European funds. Will Europe borrow more to us? No, because there is a 3% deficit threshold. It's called Maastricht standard. Huh? You know why they don't borrow to us? You have still 250 billion kunas in banks. How can you be a poor country when you save twice the value of your annual budget? How can you be a poor country when you do not tax properties? How can you be a poor country when you do not tax capital gains? They will not borrow to us. Huh? Why should I borrow him if he goes to a charity kitchen with his Jaguar? Huh? Why don't you sell Jaguar and then have something to eat? They are not stupid people. They see that some people are coming to a humanitarian aid with their Audis. Huh? No way. Or if you don't have money to spend for your kids' education, why don't you sell your house? It's the balance between long-term equity and a short-term cash equivalence. And you know what is the problem? The problem is education. Croatian politicians are less and less educated, and they do not follow international trends. And why they don't follow international trends? Because they don't speak any foreign language. They don't have ability to communicate. And we are back to square one. My first boss in Croatia Airlines was the guy that didn't speak any foreign language. Can you imagine? A person running an airline, speaking only Croatian. Yeah. It's a closed circle. Of course, we can have a leader that needs an interpreter, but then he has to be a great leader. But you cannot have an average leader that doesn't speak. How can he really be internationally important? So people can prize your country by the image of your leader. If he is no ideas, speaking no languages, you cannot develop internally if you are not globally important. There are only a few countries in the world. Brunei, Switzerland, and all these tax havens. They don't care. How many of you know? How many of you know the name of the Slovenian Prime Minister?
I don't.
Yeah. Miro Cerar. His father was a great athlete. But how many of you knows the name of the best Slovenian skier? Tina Maze. So this is relevance. How can Miro Cerar become great? He should have some successes, achievements that are recognized by people outside of Slovenia to become important for Slovenia as well. That's the destiny of politicians. But we have a chance every 4 years. You know that Madame Merkel has been for the 3rd time elected to be a leader of her party last week. You follow the news from home. So Germany won't change when you come back. No changes in 3 months. Okay. So we've gone Now they have
But we had the same.
what?
We didn't change Mr. President.
Which Mr. President?
Yanukovych.
Still elections to come, please.
No.
You know something that we don't know? Why don't you share this?
We all know.
Huh?
We all know.
It's the matter of competition. Why? The brand recognition of Ivo Josipovic. Have you
It's kind of monopoly. It's too much.
media monopoly? When you think about the president, your first association is what? Ivo Josipovic. Only at the days when we remember late President Tudjman, he died, blah, blah, and then maybe we think a bit more about the past. But when you think about the current time, your first association, President Ivo Josipovic, due to the act, he's an acting president. And the best formula to remain in power as an acting president with the level of his impact to the politics is to do nothing. Because if you don't make mistakes, you are remembered as a good president. Yeah? But by making no mistakes, because you do not do nothing, you leave no mark. And then you consume your two.
You can make profit.
And what can be measured if you can't do anything? If you don't do anything? No measure, no manage. Yeah? So I don't think so that in 50 years we will remember Ivo Josipovic. Maybe if his second term he does something which he taking out of his constitutional powers, he might do. But then with the constitution that we have, the president can talk to the prime minister. Zoran, you are doing wrong things. And then Zoran can reply, I don't care. And what then president can do? Nothing. So we are, and the way how he would love to change the constitution of a country goes into direction that the prime minister can be by the president. Especially because the presidents in Croatia are elected through a direct election. It's not like in some other parliamentary democracies where the presidents are elected in parliament. So it is. We have to. I would say the way how we elect president doesn't match his responsibilities. We don't need to spend the money on the president that has no impact.
So why do we do that? When somebody does
Mistakes. Usually, the president with such kind of.
Yesterday they were talking in the newspapers about the costs of the elections of each of the candidates, which is not that much. I mean, it's not that big money compared to the money they spent the last time. But still, everybody's talking about the money they're going to spend, and nobody's telling that money that's going to be spent.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
If I were Ivo Josipovic, in order to be remembered, and not because of my music, our president is a composer and a professor at Zagreb Law School. I would propose that we do not elect any more president in direct elections, even though they cost 10 million krunas. But if each and every of them can spend 8 million krunas, it's already for 3 candidates 24 million krunas, which is 3 million euros. And then how much the process takes. And the question is, what do people do in the last 7 days of the election period? Don't do anything. Luckily, it's a Christmas week. Anyhow, we don't do that. But let us assume it's 10 million euros, the total operation. I would say, as a university professor of the law in Zagreb School of Law, having all my experience now, the years I've passed in the politics, I suggest that we do not have a direct election for it. And let us use 10 million euros to improve the quality of Split University by bringing professors from abroad. Then definitely he will be more remembered than as a man. I have nothing against the man, don't take me wrong. I know him personally. He's a great chap, but he has no real influence. He cannot impose anything to the government. So what is your role? You are the hikos.
And he can suggest ideas. He can.
Of course, but the prime minister can refuse.
Of course.
By saying no. As simple as that. or it will be more fair to have the same system like in Germany. You have a chancellor, and the whole power is in the chancellor's office. Because that's what we have. A parliament, as an expression of the will of the people, is actually now serving the Croatian chancellor. And it's not only Zoran Milanovic, it was before as well. So what type of democracy do you really consume? Who do we really elect? If we would be electing the people per name and not the party's lists, as it is today, we would obviously have more chance to impose our will to the parliament. Or Croatian democracy is still too young, and it cannot develop as it has developed in France. So they have reached now the sixth republic. Each of these steps have meant naturally the change of constitution. But that's the way. In order to remember how the media is important to build the brand awareness, by simply repeating the name, your brand awareness goes up and goes up. We've seen yesterday the case of Croatian Olympic Committee just by simply repeating the name. And it is funny when you see the sport pages of the Croatian media, and then the distribution between the sports. One could assume that the Croatia is the most successful country in playing soccer. Yeah? On the other hand, when you see the World Championship, European Championship, and the Olympic Games, most of these medals are coming from a different sports than soccer. But globally, the influence of soccer, I would say it's 50% is soccer. Every other sport is the 50%. Even with the American softball, whatever rugby and everything they play, and basketball. This is the list of the critical success factors. Break down to the products. Then they go to corporate strategy. It's mostly within the regulatory environment. And then again, analyzing customer needs and customer behavior. Main competitors, product trends. Now they do market analysis or situation analysis for their corporation. What are the challenges? Again, challenges are always distributed among the 4 Ps. Marketing targets, initiatives, what they are going to do, what they are targeting with those initiatives, action plan distributed in 12 different areas, success factors, appendix. That's how they have drafted smaller sports sponsoring on regional side. This might be the idea for you. You can send them a letter. By closely watching your marketing strategies, I have recognized your ambitious participation in smaller sports sponsoring. I have an idea for you. And then develop an idea. Go back to schools, because they are very much involved with Medoštelo, saving accounts for little kids. And build on that. Build on that. Because if they kill all this bullshit, which most probably was business driven, we will have our current account in your bank if you give me a break. Croatian Dental Chamber. These are the richest bastards in Croatia. Liburnia Riviera. So they can make it, we can see, this was 2012. We can watch into 2013 where they've done the same. What I can ask and that you know. They are still with Ice Club, they are still with Rijeka, they are still with, but the guy goes into the retirement. The CEO goes to retirement. Croatian Shooting Federation. If they would withdraw the money from these two, they can easily they are definitely not anymore participating with Julian Ratner and the friends. This was a couple of hundred or thousands of euros. But Julian Ratner is not anymore performing in Dubrovnik. And he is by birth, he is Estonian, but with the Austrian citizenship. A Medo Šteba, moj sin ima Medo Šteba, ima 18 godina. I tako smo počeli. Da vidimo jesmo li kod Mede Štede, jesmo li ostali. Ovo je sad 2013. Šta se desilo? A? Šta je sad?
A ste steksi?
Ne mogu stisati. Mogu. Ali mi neće dati. Ma neće mi dati. Ja, zašto mi ne da ovaj korak? Nismo li valjda ništa. Čekajte, idemo naći ovaj breakdown. So we are now switching to 2013 to see what happened. Give me blink. Now they are describing direct mail details. Mail marketing activities corporate. EU desk. Kreha is joining European Union now, they have EU desk. Market positioning, what are they going to do? Corporate banking market, check what they've done with sports. Let me see the SWOT analysis in 2013 so we can compare. Again, the third market position, strength, friendly and helpful staff, this hasn't changed. Wide range of ATA network. What is the weakness? Now, last year they were not present in Zagreb and Southeast Croatia. Now, low level of automation, especially specialization and price and collateral competitive towards other banks. So they have now placed more loans, but they are too expensive and they ask for too much collateral. Limited, I don't know what is RBA growth, insufficient IT resources for automation development. Negative economic trends, it's still the same, like reduced quality of the system, decrease of real estate prices, decrease of the real estate prices. Last year this was a chance, now it's a weakness. So let's go, let me try to find the breakdown of sport.
How many times per year do you do the SWOT? I don't know.
Once in a year. It doesn't change very often. And I mean, it changes if something drastically is changed. For example, I would assume for the companies that are now in this distribution, the price of the fuel would be a huge change. Then you have to do the SWOT analysis again. But the general trends, it's either customer behavior, it's either huge change in a market share and in your competitiveness outlook. New products that have appeared in the take for example Nokia and their decision not to go after the smartphone. Do you believe that they were not aware that somebody is developing a smartphone? Absolutely, they were aware of that. Yeah? And they have not reacted because they believed it is not their weakness nor threat for them. Yeah? So sometimes it's a gut feeling that something is approaching that will change your business environment, and then you do another SWOT analysis. But I would today bet that no one of the top management cannot be relaxed in the way that they do not communicate with someone or do it by their own technology development. Because what is driving change today are technologies. Yeah? If I would go for two major things that would mark the marketing of the years to come, would be the way how we consume. Something is easy to consume. It's easy. So it's I would say convenience. The key term would be convenience. Convenience. And convenience grows with the technology. Take, for example, only in the last 10 years how we pay our home bills, utility bills. Yeah. Of course, the banks have offered to us the ability to our utility bills to be immediately paid out. So you just sign the trajni nalog. This is a kind of order that you give to your bank. So all the utility bills are shipped to your bank, not to you at home. And you get informed that your utility bill for gas, water, waste management has been paid by your bank. But some people still love. They believe that they control their cash flow statements, because you can be delayed. So I do it. I do my own accounting at home, and I pay all the bills. It takes time, but now I'm very skillful. But I know what are the due dates of extension to be paid. So if you are 30 days delays, nobody will warn you. Utility bills, no way. If you are 30 days delayed, there will be no interest accounted to your debt. So you can easily shuffle with the at least for the Croatian, so to say, economic outlook, with the 20% of your disposable income, family disposable income. 20% is not small. Huh? Imagine if the companies can delay 20% of their payments that are due for a month without due to be paid. Huh? And of course, the cities and municipal authorities are stupid. They should have an incentives for those that pay in due dates, because they will need to borrow less if the people pay on time. Have you ever seen the situation whereby city of Zadar gives you an annual bonus if you pay all your collecting garbage bills on time by allowing you not to pay the month of December?
Yeah, but
as simple as that. Anyhow, they have a daily report of delays. Huh? Yeah. So these are the small ideas that can help. Yeah.
I have some question about the SWOT analysis.
Yeah.
For example, in your company,
Yeah.
Group, do you make the special SWOT analysis for every new product that you would like to put on the market?
Of course. You know why? Because of the price of the ingredients that you put in your product.
I would think that you only make the global SWOT analysis for the.
We make for every product line a different SWOT analysis. If you take our largest business is coffee.
For example, I was thinking about the Cedevita goes. Go.
Yeah. What is the largest threat to Cedevita go? Distribution. It has to be everywhere. So if the distributors would increase, take for example, I will tell you one of the price increase. Montana sandwich, okay? Cost of production, What do you think? Have you ever tried Montana sandwich?
Yes.
What was the price you paid for that?
€2.
15, 10, 20, I don't know.
Which is 20 kunas. Basically, it's sales price. If it's not petrol chain, it's 20 kunas. Huh? 12 kunas. Huh? What is the price price elasticity of demand for a sandwich of 20 kunas? It's almost €3 for a sandwich. And this, you cannot impose your will to the retailers, and you have to sell on 21. It's prohibited by the competition agency. You cannot create deals with the retailer. You can have a recommended price. Once when you print the price of your product, it's only when you promote. So 2 Coca-Colas, $5.55 is a limited time of promotion. You cannot mark your product with a price as a producer. And we found to be the largest threat to Montanas is the price increase in retail. If you would buy a sandwich on Jadrolinja, it's 25 kunas. Can you imagine? Cedevita go and sandwich 50 kuna. Who's going to buy that? Then when we do SWOT analysis, we do mostly in an area of price allocation, yeah? and the new products and competitors. This is what we do very often. Again, through brainstorming sessions, we have a body called Strategic Management Council, where all the bosses of the businesses meet with the group level. I'm group level. The guy who runs the snack production is in Belgrade. He's an executive within the business, and I'm a group level executive. I would say group level is not executive level. Group levels are always kind of holding companies. Huh? They listen and approve. But who is responsible? The executive guys in businesses. Yeah? But what lies in a group level is a shareholder. We own shares. The group owns the shares. Huh? And of course, that's the name of the group. That's the name of the story. So let me. This is how business plans are, marketing plans are structured. I was trying to find out, okay, to look. Yeah. This is how the media plan looks. Media plan is usually an attachment to a marketing plan. Huh? And it's the breakdown of different channels of promotion. Huh? Let me see. That's it. The breakdown, 59%. We have already talked about how we allocate the budget. The marketing budget is always a certain percentage of the total revenue that you expect to have after the campaign within a period. Period is usually a year. If I intend to sell 100, I have to invest 30 in marketing. And that's how the budgets are created. Of course, you cannot have the budget prior to sell. As for the company, it is an investment. And it's not an investment that you can depreciate. There is no double accounted in marketing cost. It's the cost of that particular year. But it piles up because the brand awareness is rising with the years that you keep promoting your product. Yeah? It's piling to it. So this client, the name of the marketing agency, and the client this and that. This is the breakdown of the total marketing budget to be spent on TV promotion, 59%, print media, outdoor, radio, and special media. Most probably these are the social networks. Right? And this is the Excel spreadsheet. I can't see it here, but this I will send you to you as well. It's in Croatian, yeah. No, it's in English as well. And of course, TV, all number of days. This is the share. The share is measured in GRPs. GRP is the way how you calculate the cost. That's how it's an international standard how the TV station charge you. It's the mix between the time that has been used, the single unit, and the number of viewers. You know that number of viewers is carefully watched by the agency, and they send reports back to the TV stations. The only way how they can create an interesting program is the report of how many people have been viewing your program. And you have so-called telemeters. It's the small engine that has been distributed to a couple of thousands of homes throughout Croatia with a special remote controller, which marks every time when you change the channel. And this is done by Nielsen. I have been mentioning this Nielsen as well. And Nielsen delivers report back to the market, which is of the utmost importance to the marketing manager of every TV station, because their success is measured by the number of viewers. And then their prices are coupled with the success in the number of viewers. And this is GRP. What does GRP stand for? I don't know. I can ask my wife because she was a marketing director of the Croatian television for the worst 5 years in our marriage. Ever. She was never at home. I mean, neither do I, but okay. So this is a strategic plan which gives the breakdown of all types of media. Then you have print, radio, outdoor, online. So we can go to this is the print, and it goes per media. 24 sata, večernji list, jutarnji list, novi list, petak, valjda. It depends on how many number of copies are printed per day. So obviously for novi list, Friday, it's the printed media in ad placement, inner page, inner page, inner page, inner page. How many centimeters, formats, price per, these are in kunas, color, it's the agency discount, this is the discount that agency gets from the printing. Advance payment, how much? Obviously advance payment is, then you get a bonus. Number of blah, 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 net price, and distribution. Of course, if you want to have a new product, then you have to build image, product, yeah? And then it comes as an avalanche before the launching of the new product. In the meantime, you have to secure what? At the peak of the promotion campaign for new products, you have to achieve what? Convenience. People have to have the opportunity to buy your product next door. So while you are promoting, your colleagues from this distribution department will try to create a contract with the distributors to have your products in every corner of the market you want to conquer, right? Then you go, this is print plan, then you go to radio plan, the same breakdown, otvoreni radio, Hrvatska radio mreža, Narodni radio, national coverage, regional coverage. And of course, again, the breakdown of the type, price, agency discount, volume discount, prepayment, number of earrings, this is how many it was, how many times has been. And this is the breakdown of frequency. On Monday, 4 times, on Tuesday, and so on and so on. And then obviously this was month of April. One of the, if you are talking about the radio reach, is the higher mreža. It's a national radio system which has studios in each and every region. So there are 3 or 4 times a day when they have a program which is the same throughout all the regional stations. And that's how, and it's always mixture. Then we go to the outdoor. Outdoor means billboards. Billboards, obviously, their partner was Euro Plakat, Zagreb Plakat, hoping that they have placed their billboards at the areas where most of the people are driving, standing, looking, staring, sleeping, or whatever. And then the breakdown of the type, date, format, price, discounts, and a number of positions. The Europlacat has 150, 32, 20, 20, and altogether in this campaign they have used 296 positions to place their billboard. There are always no, agency is not responsible for
Great card.
no. And so on and so on. Exchange rate. And most of the Croatian agents that have an open space promotion are a kind of a joint venture, an investment for the broad coupled with some local part. And then online, huh? Yeah, there's no online. So this is how it actually ends up in a promotion. Okay, so, and let me, as a final, give you a little breakdown, because another 15 to 20 minutes and then we close today's session. I still don't know how I'm going to get this shit. And why don't I get it? Aha, it's over there. You know who is Peter Drucker. He is the guru of marketing. The purpose of business is to create and keep the customer. Because today, more needs are created than born within ourselves. What is marketing? It's when you develop a powerful consumer insight that responds to explicit needs and latent consumer needs, launching competitively superior products and services which leverage these insights is the goal of the market. Create value by branding those insights, distributing them and communicating with customers about them. Again, 4 P's, attract value by pricing them profitably. That's the price. Consumer insights drive a powerful marketing. Yeah? These are some of the examples of the great consumer insights. Yeah? You know what is Schnapple? It's juicy, American juicy. Yeah? Harach is the chain of the gambling houses in the United States. Some of these companies are known by their, I mean, how can you position a microchip? You can't use microchip alone, no? Without being in the computer, it's shit. Product policy. Schnapple wants to, they launched the product 30 years ago. It was Coca-Cola generation. And they offered the product to the yuppies, to the new urban generation, Wall Street. You drink, it was absolutely ugly, half-liter glass bottle with a big tap, with the juice inside. You can find today these iced teas that are sold throughout Croatia in ugly bottles, but they have strongly differentiate themselves from Coca-Cola. Natural belongs to the young, different generation, fully aware of their of the health need. Yeah? This is product policy. The Harach had a great communication policy. How can you attract the people to the gambling house? Good. Pricing policy with DHL that has created an incentive that more parcel services use than the post. Yeah? They've gone down seriously with the pricing. And Zara, we talked about Zara and its pricing policy. Companies must be consumer driven. The focus of your activities, if you are a marketing manager, is the consumer. He needs a little bit help to understand what he needs. That's where you are the most important stone to build that. These are the examples of some great claims by large companies. You have to analyze your customers. where, when, and how often can we touch the customer? Especially if you are selling services. It's not easy to touch them on a daily basis like you do with the physical products. And simply the people need physical products on a daily basis, while services they don't need on a daily basis. And so what is the interest of our customer? How, which product, which type of service, how do I pay for it? What is the experience that I get? What kind of a relationship I can build? You don't spend too much time trying to align with the customers if you are selling cheap product. More time has to be invested in the customer if you sell a larger value of the product. Cost of service and price paid is a decision-making point of how much time and services and efforts you allocate to each and every customer. So the higher the price is, more time you spend with your customer. It takes more time to sell a Rolex than to sell water, obvious. To sell a car than to sell a dental floss. You have to segment them, and by segmenting customers, you can allocate the prices. Your pricing strategy depends on segmentation. And the art of segmentation is deciding which 2 or 3 criteria discriminate best. How do you? It's by gender, by age, by cash. It's easy. There are market analyses available on web for every type of the market segmentation. You just type in the product you want to sell and then dash market segments, and you will get the data. So you keep changing yourself by interaction with the customers. The customers we serve affect who we become. Beware of the heavy user segment. There are customers that are heavy. They know more about your product. They are freaks than you know. The customer segmentation drives your product positioning. Positioning versus you decide which market segment you want to target, and that's how you decide about your. You have to be positioned very clearly. Yeah? You have to have the clarity. Why do I buy? Take the example of Avis. For business people who rent cars, Avis is the company who will give you the best service because the employees of the company. The business consumers are always interested in service rather than in price. They have to do something in a timely manner. And if they do not execute in time, they lose the purpose of their well-being. And therefore it is needed that we rent the cars in a timely manner, and we succeed to do that because we have employees who are interested in them. And of course, if you position yourself against the most important benefits, the most important benefits are called jugular, because this is the jugular vein. The vein that carries the blood between heart and your brain is the most important. And the most efficient way to kill the man or a woman is to cut the jugular veins. That's why we cut throats to people. Even they die if we cut them somewhere else. So hitting the jugular benefits deserves the highest praise, the highest price. And you have an irrelevant benefit. Don't ever insist on irrelevant benefits. But fringe benefits are not very. These are the small awards that your customer gets by using your product. And how do we put it all together? This is the marketing. And my hope and expectation is that you have, by communicating with me in this weekend and the previous one, that you have clearly pictured this scheme in your brains, and that it for you will be a natural reaction when you talk about marketing. And this is the essence. And the marketing plan always communicates 4 things, as you have seen in the presentation of the Erste Bank, Kroatien. I will send to you, to your attention, all these presentations. Don't try to write down. Just use presentation. Because at the age you are today, and the knowledge that you have gained so far, for this should be a self-explanatory, a subconscious reaction. 4 P's should be subconscious reaction. Because that's the way how you're going to make money. Brand is meaning, a brand is a club owned by its customers. What does the brand think? This is about branding, yeah? Could you imagine this? The Americans needed a place to socialize. And safe harbor. I think that the Starbucks is the only place beyond the restaurants in America where the people sit and talk to an unknown person. Have you noticed that? You can easily enter into any Starbucks, take your half liter of coffee with total shit. Has nothing to do with your coffee. The way how we perceive it, yeah? Espresso towards Starbucks is. But that's the only place in America that people will address you without knowing Starbucks.
And Subway. In the subway.
And the subway, yeah, in the subway. Because it's a neighborhood and it's safe harbor. That's how they have. Oof. And this is a. How do you create communication policy? You have to address the motives. Then through markets and messages, through media, you come to money and measurement. And pricing policy. Yeah. This was what I was explaining this morning to the P&L. What values we deliver, how much we can price those values, because they come out of our cost of structure. What are the competitors out there? If we have a great product and yet about the competitors, takes time to prove that there is the same benefit for the user if they pay more to us than if they pay less to the alcohol. And company strategy delivers price at the end. The people that, those companies that have new products, they want to put into the market. Usually the company strategy is a lower profits because the products are aging and in the highest maturity they should create the highest profit. And this can be distributed throughout the years. GE was a great example of that. Whenever one of the members of the GE group was introducing new products, they would be borrowing money from the group, not from the banks, from the group. The group members were investing their surplus cash flows to new products of other members of the group. And there was an internal cost of capital created by the group. And it was allocated to you to develop more products for the next 3 years. And that's how Jack Welch has created a great company that has survived years. And they produce everything from fridge to bottles. Okay, this is from innovation to commoditization. Yeah, the need to educate you. This is what if you have innovation, it changes the people's habits. You have to educate them. Huh? You have to educate the people how to use the smartphone. Because if they are only trying to make a phone call, Nokia is quite enough. But this is the early life cycle that goes from innovation, and then afterwards, when you have to, again, rebuild the popularity of your product because it is going from being innovative to something very natural to you. It's different marketing strategy from early stage of a product to the more or less becoming commodity. Yeah. Eat lunch or be lunch. Change or die. You've heard this many, many times. Yeah? Change or die. I'm going to skip this. Most valuable global brands. We've been talking about this yesterday, slightly different, but this was year 2009. And yesterday we were talking about 2008. See how Google has changed compared to 2008 of yesterday. But still 10 same. Marlboro. Global brands. You cannot be globally successful without being the strongest at home. It has to have a global appeal. It cannot be insulting to any nation. So you have to create something that doesn't hurt people's feeling in all the corners of the world. And they have to position it consistently in each and every position. It has to be displayed with the leading sponsors and leading media portals. It has to be focused on product category. And the name of the corporation is the brand name. And this is the question that comes at the end, whether all global brands are actually American. And we'll find out that the global brands are not only American. I would say that if you would say in South America the name of Volkswagen represent them a global brand. If we would say Mercedes in Russia, for them it's a global brand. Have you read the funny thing that just a couple of weeks before of these bans for the goods to be sold in Russia, there was the largest ever purchase of Mercedes cars. The Russians bought, I don't know how many Mercedes cars, is to maintain, to safeguard the import of, because the ban does not apply to the deals already done, but the future deals. So the Germans are sometimes, and I would say, the success story of the German economy, that they rely on a couple of global brands, which are all linked to the engineering, and then sell it rather globally than only local. If you want to grow, the growth cannot come if you are a country between 2 and 100 million people of your own consumption. It has to be a global reach if you want to grow. So the 21st century, how does the companies are created? It is decoupled from country of origin. Yesterday I was surprised to learn that the Peak is made in China. I was not aware of that at all. Peak made in China. More and more that the Lenovo is China. That one of the most successful car producers in the world is Tata. Tata is India. They own Fiat. You see now the investments done by Emirates Airlines or Etihad owning Air Berlin or Alitalia or Air Serbia, which we have sold. There is a portfolio of global and the local brands. They find the good citizens in every country, and they have a front office. So you ask about the template. It can be adopted to Croatia, but internally it's the same for each and every country. As standardization and consultation helps to make the profits. This is my final message to you. Don't forget that the emotions are those that drive people in spending money, in deciding on marketing decisions. Emotions are crucial for success in your business life. With this, and if you don't have any questions, I would conclude today's lecture. I hope it's been interesting for you in this and the last weekend. I hope we have at least succeeded today to incorporate you into a group by using the English as the language of understanding each other. You will continue to see Ivana with the Vježbe, with practices. One of these, she will send me a list of the work you've done with her appraisal of your work, which I will include in the total value of your efforts. when we see each other either at the end of January or the beginning of February in the oral exam. And the oral exam is 15 minutes discussion between you and me, one-on-one. So the next time when we see each other will be obviously either end of the January or the beginning of the February. In the meantime, if you need any help from me in academia or in your business efforts, do not hesitate to contact me via mail. I'm pretty efficient in responding to mails. It never takes more than a couple of days, if not the same day. And if I can, I will be more than happy to help you. Thanks. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the week, and if I may wish you a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
Merry Christmas to you.
Ja. Frohe Weihnachten und glückliches neues Jahr. Ja, Dankeschön. Hvala, doviđenja, adio, hvala vam lijepa. Vidimo se. Bye. Evo, slušam te, zvao si me. Ej, sve ok, evo meni je završila nastava, bez pauze smo radili, sad idem polako za Zagreb, kuću sam ti zatvorio, zaključao, ključ je dao sam Sisoju i to je to. Ali snijega nema. Dobro, uživajte šef. Ajde, Bog živio, Bog.